my beautiful diamonds and my TikTokers and my Teletubbies, how many times have you and I had this discussion when it comes to never let your survival depend on a man, because that's not a good move. And you know, it's just so wonderful to see how you have a lot of the younger women who are realizing this. Now, I found a beautiful, oh, she is so awesome. She's not only beautiful externally, but she's very smart. Scorpio. Smart as hell. Check her out. T. Marie. I'm listening to her. I think I disagreed with her on maybe 2 things, you know, but it's nothing big. You know, people are going to disagree. It is what it is. But I love the fact that she says, don't give nobody the power to disrupt your day to day. And I agree with this message, not 100%, 1,000,000,000%.
Allowing a man to put a roof over your head, to me, is the same thing as allowing a man to, like, make you homeless. Giving a man the power to pull the rug from beneath your feet. You know, sometimes people do things out of genuine just love for you, a genuine care for you. But a lot of times, it's a power play. It's a power move. And I feel like to go into any situation, to live with a man, whether you're desperate, whether it's transitional, whether this is a friend, whatever the case is, to go into a situation where you are 100% relying on a man for a roof over your head, your stability, I just feel like it's a power play, and you are giving that man the power to make you homeless at any given time, to fuck your life up at any given time, to fuck up your day-to-day stability and sanity at any given time. Me personally, in my experience, men don't do well with power. They abuse it. It's unfortunate, but it's true. Men do not do well with power. Power usually makes men want to get more power and want to see how much more powerful they can get. It doesn't make them sit back and realize how much of a responsibility it is to be in a position of power. Most men abuse power, and it's unfortunate, but I just feel like if you're young, if you're transitioning, if you're getting your life together, it don't matter what point of your life that you're in, if you're able to get that shit out the mud, get that shit out the mud. If you're able to make it happen on your own, make that shit happen on your own. You never want to give nobody the power to fuck up your day-to-day sanity and your peace. Allowing a man to put a roof over your head, to me, is the same.
Now, did she not speak with words of wisdom? And this is why I always say I believe in the 50-50 thing, because it's definitely about power. And you have so many women who they get it wrong. When I say 50-50, I'm not just talking about financially. I'm also talking about when it comes to the child care, the housework, the cooking, and the cleaning, sweetheart. You're not going to sit up here and do work outside the home and you're contributing financially, because God did create a woman as a man's helper, not his do-all. I'm here to help you. And that's a blessing when you can find a woman who believes in 50-50 when it comes to the rent, the food, utility, Wi-Fi. You know, I take care of my own transportation. You take care of your own. You know, when it comes to the food and everything, we're going in this together. This is a partnership. Let me read some of the comments here. This is why 50-50 makes more sense, but some people argue that a man should pay everything. And she got over 150 agreements. Okay? Another woman says, yeah, I tried to depend on a man, and he held it over my head every chance and every time that he could. This is what I'm saying. I don't understand why women could buy into that nonsense. Let him pay for everything. If he's paying for everything, it's his, not yours. I don't care if your name is on the mortgage or on the lease, because he could easily have that removed. Especially if he got connections, and if he got any kind of street smarts, he know how to get that done. Many times it is power and control. If you don't do it, do what they desire you to do. Yeah, he wants to dog you out in certain ways. You ain't going to do it. Well, you don't take care of me. Why should I take care of you? And the kind of things he's asking you to do. He wants a threesome. He wants to bring somebody into the relationship now. You're not looking out for what, man, please? One woman says, that's facts, baby. I'm a living testimony. My dad and ex has made me homeless on purpose. Her dad? What? tragic lesson depending on the man. Hell no. One woman says, period. I'm a firm believer that women should always have their own. And that's the only thing I was trying to convey to my girls out there. Some people took it to the left field. That's on you. Okay, somebody says also your husband and boyfriend should not meet all of your friends and family. Meet the right family and friends. You might need to run to them someday. Very smart. Very right. That's right. You don't need to know where my family lives, or you don't need to know where my bestie lives at. I never know when I'm going to have to use them to get away from you. That's why you stack your money on the low. Giving somebody the power to feed you, then you give them the power to starve you. So when you listening to that Yada awakening, child, please. He got more than one woman, honey. His women don't mind sharing his corn on the cob or his eggplant. That's a setup. He's nothing but a walking setup anyway. Another woman says, exactly, this is why my mom always told me to always have my own money and never, ever depend on a man. That mother was smart. That's right. Another woman, these are all young women. I'm so happy. My life, my happiness, and my peace of mind is my responsibility. Hello, we're adults. As adults and grown-ups, you're responsible for yourself financially. I will never give anyone that power to destroy that. I believe in having my own. When a man or a friend comes, that's just the extras. I like that way of thinking too. Thank you. Absolutely. A woman says, I did it for a few years, and the amount of control he thought he had over me was crazy. Because she was depending on him, and that's why you have a lot of men who are trying to get women, excuse me, darling, back into the household. I got my little fan here. You know how menopause is. But anyway, let's do this right here. Thank you. Yeah. They're trying to get women back into the home because they don't have anyone that they can use and abuse, manipulate, and treat badly. That's why all of a sudden you see these men coming out of the woodwork talking about you don't have to pay any of the bills. I don't, yeah, you got yourself a 50-50 man. He ain't no good. No, honey, you got yourself a smart man who's not going to be controlling, domineering, and abusive. The only men who want to pay for everything are the ones who you have. That's a red flag. And another thing I want to bring out, yeah, you want a man who has money, and it's not that you're materialistic. She also brought this out, which was a good point. The reason why women don't want a broke man who's struggling is because, have you ever noticed when a man has money, how happy he is? When you're dealing with a broke man, he's mean, he's hateful, he's ornery, he's always angry. But when you deal with a man who have money, now I've known of a man, I've dealt with some men who were rich and well off. Italian men, Asian men. And these men are very, very happy. Normally when you deal with a man who's got money and they're still mean as fuck, excuse my French, it's because they don't have, they don't have enough meat in the meat department. They're lacking in the meat department. So of course they're going to take that out on everybody. But truth be told, when you're dealing with a broke dude who's struggling and his money is not right, his mind is not going to be right. And when a man's mind is not right, he's never going to treat you right. So you go after a man who has his own money, and always have your own, baby. But you go for a man who's not struggling. Because first of all, he has no business up in no woman's face anyway. He need to be focusing on business. Get your money up. So you can learn how to be happy and jolly and stop being so mean, miserable, and angry and walking around looking like, ooh, child, my ex-husband was like that. He had a mean old face and he was always struggling or whatever. Anyway, I wanted to share that with you briefly. Twinkle, twinkle, twinkle.